Welcome to the Money Barista podcast in the virtual cafe where coffee meets money. This is your host, Kerry Zarb, the Money Barista, and together with Kim White, we bring you weekly episodes to talk about the beans in your business. How would you like to be in control of your business finances? Step inside the virtual cafe with us for these convos where we share our experience with you. So what are we waiting for? Come on, let's go. It's coffee time. Kim, I am so excited to be back in the virtual cafe. How about you?
I'm excited to be with you, Kerry.
I'm excited that we get to bring another conversation to our amazing listeners. Hello.
Hello out there. We're so glad you're here with us. I agree, Kerry.
Yes. And Kim, we've got a bit of a doozy today. It's coming up to tax time in the US. The year has turned over. You guys are on a calendar year system for your taxes. So January to December. It's now January. So don't think we're at the start. Well, we are at the start, but we're also at the end. So there's a few things we need to unpack for those that are starting to think about bringing their taxes together. Isn't that right, Kim?
It is, Kerry. And usually Kerry doesn't get any warning of the question that's coming, but today I felt like she needed a warning because it is a doozy, as you say, Kerry.
It is, Kim, but at the same time, I think we can simplify this. I think we can bring it back to just some core things that people can think about to not be stressed and not be overwhelmed. I don't know about you, Kim, but before I played in the finances like I do these days, man, I'd be sweating bullets. Like I'd be like, oh, taxes, what have I got to do? Oof. How much time am I going to lose? Like, how much time is this going to take? This weekend, next weekend, the weekend after? What's it going to look like? So I feel like that stress, Kim, that comes with tax time, it's like it was yesterday, even though it was many, many years ago, but I still get it. I still understand.
Well, Kerry, there's been many questions submitted about this, but this one came from a listener, and it is, what do I need to prepare for the accountant for taxes? That is the $1 million question, Kerry.
It is the $1 million question, Kim, and let's not make it worth $1 million, but certainly I want to put in like my 20 cents on this, and there could be multiples of them. But again, we're coming back to simplifying this. We don't want this humongous list. So really, the core things that you should be looking for are your bank statements. First and foremost, bank or credit card statements. Anything to do with your business finances where the funds are coming in and out of those accounts, you need those bank statements. That'd be number one recommendation to have. Gather those up, put them aside, you're good to go. Thumbs up. Number two would be probably any piece of evidence of your expenses that you can gather up. Anything that you've spent throughout the year, you really need to have the evidence of those expenses because that's what your accountant will want to see to prove those transactions and show that you've got the evidence for it. And also, you guys might have heard me talk about this before, you need that evidence for an element of time. Depending on where you are in the world, I think the minimum, Kim, that I've ever heard is 7 years. Like there's that 7 to 10 bracket for keeping that evidence. So you're going to need that. You're definitely going to need the evidence of the expenses. The third one I would think about, and a lot of people overlook this one, Kim, is our online transactions like PayPal or Stripe or any other online payment platform that you might be using. It gets missed. It actually gets missed a lot. We do these things without even thinking, set up a PayPal, attach it to your website, maybe a Stripe account, whatever it looks like. We can forget that those platforms have statements. They have financial reports that we can get. We can log into those systems and get those just like we can our bank statements. So that's another one that's probably quite critical. And what else, Kim? What else would we need? I feel like there are three majors that come to mind straight off the top of my head. Did I miss anything, Kim?
I don't know, Kerry. You are the smart one in this in this conversation. And I think that just those are big. Like, they can feel overwhelming, but you're right, keeping it simple. I think that's actually the key to getting them done.
I agree, Kim. And I think sometimes we might need to look at these this time of year particularly. We might need to look at it in little stages. You may not want to sit down and bring all of this together at once. Given that it's early January now, for those in the US that are starting to think about their taxes, start to look at getting little bits of them together. If you don't have any of it already together, you can start to gather this stuff now and spend a little bit of time over the next few weeks to bring it all together, rather than thinking about, oh my God, I'm going to lose my weekend. Don't lose your weekend. You know, a couple of times a week, grab a bank statement. Moment on the weekend, grab another one. Like, start to pull it together slowly in those little pieces. It's not so overwhelming when we do things in bite-sized pieces, Kim, and just start to bring it together piece by piece, and then you'll have it together in no time. And then if you do hit something that's a little bit like curveball-ish and like, oh, I can't find this thing or this one thing, give yourself time to be able to find that later. Don't leave it till the last minute where you're starting to sweat and stress and have that pressure on yourself. So if you start now, you'll have it done in plenty of time, Kim.
As always, you make things so simple. And I want to put out a special invitation because I am a member of the Money Barista Club. And I think that anyone who's been listening for a while especially knows that the club has made a difference in a lot of business owners' lives and a lot of entrepreneurs' lives because they've gotten in control of their money. So I want to put this invitation out. And how do I say this? This is not a paid ad. Carrie she actually cringes when I say these things out loud to invite everyone, but I think that everyone needs to know that you are doing your live tour in just a week or so, where people can come and go through the savings tool with you live. But then the club also, Carrie, I am so excited, personally excited, because you are going to be teaching us about how to put our digital shoebox together in the club so that we can have a different, I'm going to say, level of pressure for 2024. Because if we start in the beginning with our digital shoebox, it will make an impact on us this time next year, so that we're not stressed. We'll already have it all done. So I'm so excited about that. I can't really stand it. So they'll be mad that I'm sharing it, Carrie, but I feel like everybody needs to know, if they're not already in the club, Carrie, they need to get there.
Kim, I'm particularly excited about this month myself because I've actually got 3 things going on. So, well, actually 4, 5, okay, I've lost count. Not enough fingers. Like, this month is the live tour. So we definitely, want to put that invite out for people to join us. We'll pop a link in the show notes for you to be able to come. It's free to come to the live tour, free to get the savings tool. It's all about recurring and subscription payments that we forget. So definitely want to put that one out there. And then, this month in the club, Kim, oh my God, the digital shoebox. So everything I just went through for your tax preparation, we're going to go through that in the club and really break down starting to set up this year, exactly as you said, Kim. So when we have this conversation next year, you won't be looking for this stuff. Like, you just won't be. The digital shoebox is a game changer. It is definitely something you want in your corner in your business for your business finances. So I might be a little bit excited, Kim. I could be overexcited, in fact.
I love that you're excited, though, Carrie, and I'm excited because I think you're going to help all of us. Like, the club, the members in the club, we don't have to share, like, our financial things with you. Like, that's one of the things I want to say to everybody. You don't have to be embarrassed or anything else. Because let me tell you, I am a hot mess. And, like, that would maybe keep me from the club if I had to tell every tiny little bit. But then I giggle and I think I tell every tiny little bit anyway, so I don't know what my problem is. But I do think it's important, Carrie, for everyone to know that it's a great place to come and ask questions, because I have so many questions when I'm going through, like, statements and things. How do you put this? Where do you put this? Like, what do you do with that? how does that work? So I think having you to be able to ask questions to is such a powerful, I don't know, it's a stress reliever, Carrie. That's what it is. It's a stress reliever.
Well, Kim, and I want to add, actually, before we hop out of here, those questions are all very normal. These are questions that we all have. And like so many things that we hear about, no question is a silly question. Everyone's thinking the same thing. And when someone asks the questions, you should see the faces. Everyone's faces are like, oh yeah, I had that question too. Like, this is very normal, very common. We've all got questions about things we don't know about. Plenty. I have plenty of questions about all the things I don't know about. So this space is for everyone to come and ask those questions in the club and get the help that they need. So that's why it's here, Kim.
I'm excited about it, Carrie. So in the show notes, we're going to drop when and where and all the details so that everybody can know, Carrie, how to get their digital shoebox together this year.
Absolutely, Kim. And I've got to say, the live tour, I do know the dates. January 17th at 5 p.m. Central is the live tour. And for anyone here in Australia, that is January 18th, because we're just super special being a day ahead of you there, Kim. We get our weekend sooner, but then we get our Monday faster as well. And it is Thursday morning, January 18th, which turns into 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Oh my goodness, all the time zones. You notice Carrie didn't want me sharing all the time zone things. There is a reason.
Kim, we had this conversation about daylight and daytimes and time zones and all. You know how I feel about this. This is just, let's not go there.
It's so funny, Carrie. Well, we hope you join us. We hope that you come and participate and be on tour with Carrie and save lots of beans in your business. But Carrie, I've got one last question for today.
Sure.
When you're done, you give your paperwork to your accountant to do your taxes, you do all that. Coffee do you go home and celebrate with?
Kim, it's my skinny latte. It is always my skinny latte. And you know what? I've actually worked this out. I thought about this over the break because I'm like, what is my favourite drink of all time is the skinny latte. But you know what? The one piece of it that I probably hardly share is it has 1/4 of a teaspoon of raw sugar. It's the best. It just hint. Just a tiny little hint of sugar. And Kim, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but back in the day when I first started really drinking real coffee, do you know how many sugars I had, Kim?
Can't even imagine, Carrie.
4 sugars. It took me years to wean myself off all that sugar. I didn't want the sugar. I was adapting to the real coffee taste, and it just took a long time to wean myself down. I think it's only been the last couple of years I've been half. Now I'm down to 1/4. I can drink it without sugar. I don't need the sugar. I just prefer that little, it's a crutch. It's a crutch to have that little bit of sugar.
I love it. So get your paperwork together and get your skinny lattes together, and let's all celebrate that you are ready for your taxes.
Oh, I agree, Kim. And one last time, join us here in the virtual cafe. So again, we'll pop that link into the show notes for the live tour on January 17th or 18th, wherever you are in the world. Please do your own time conversion if you're somewhere else. Sorry about that. But we'll pop those links into the show notes, and we would love to have you here in the virtual cafe with us.
Thank you, Carrie, for everything you do for all of us.
You're welcome, Kim, and thank you for listening to this episode. We're going to be back next week, Kim.
Yay! So excited. Love y'all.
Bye, Kim. Thank you for joining us in the virtual cafe studio for this convo about business finances. This production is brought to you by the Money Barista, Kerry Zarb. You can follow the show to be notified of future episodes, and if you're enjoying this podcast, we encourage you to leave a rating or personal review. Until next time, happy biz beans to you. No beans were harmed during the production of this podcast. Information contained in this podcast should be taken as general advice only, and your personal circumstances have not been taken into account. It is recommended that you seek financial advice from a professional who is licensed to do so. If you choose to act upon the general advice shared, you do so at your own risk.